Previously in part 1.
I've spoken at events. I've released 122 pounds. I have authored a book with number 2 on the way. I have launched my coaching business. How? Welcome to Her Elevated Self, where we focus on the psychology of purpose, the biblical and brain-based strategies that will equip you to become her and build from there. Let's get started. Now, here in week 3, our focus is all around building endurance. And the thing is that by week 3, the novelty starts to wear off, okay? Your excitement starts waning. You feel like you don't see any fruit, okay? And this is honestly where most people quit. And we really have to be reminded of James 1, verses 3 and 4, which tells us, for you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. The word endurance in Greek is the word hupomone, okay? And it means steadfastness, cheerful, constancy, and patient continuance. So in other words, endurance is not passive waiting, right? It's truly active persistence, and it's truly you choosing to stay when your old self screams to go back. And so psychologists at the University College of London actually conducted a study showing that it takes an average of 67 days to form a habit. I know that we have heard that it takes 21 days, but it's actually a myth. It takes more or less on average 67 days, okay? And honestly, it really depends upon the person, your environment, as well as the behavior that you're actually attempting to adjust, okay? And so that means that by week 3, you're really still in the messy middle. And depending upon specifically what it is that you are attempting to adjust, you could be here 2 to 3 more weeks, okay? And I know that I said 30 days and really, it's like catchy, I guess you could say. But the reality is that you really have to make the decision and say, as long as it takes, as long as it takes. And I am in this for as long as it takes. Regardless, I will be God's intention. I will see God's intention for my life. I will see it be made manifested within my life. At this point, your brain may not have fully automated your new identity. And so this is definitely why you feel the pull to stop. This is when it seems like the voice of dissent in your head gets louder. And it is really because the repetition has not really become subconscious enough yet, okay? And so this is when consistency and not your feelings actually begin to build your endurance. For this week, your assignment is to stretch your endurance muscle. That means I want you to stick with your daily anchors, okay? Even if it feels boring and pointless, the stillness, the declarations, the journaling, you taking action, I don't care. Don't skip it. Number 2, I want you to add 1 stretch assignment every day. Okay, so this is something that your old self would try to avoid. So if your focus is on health, try meal prepping. Or if your focus is on business, try pitching that client, right? If your focus is on consistency, film that video, even when your hair is not all the way together, right? And so number 3, I would love for you to celebrate your wins. Now, here is the thing. Most of us, I know I have been so guilty of this, okay, is that I used to feel like I didn't have anything to celebrate. And I felt like I didn't have anything to celebrate because I didn't have some grand win yet, okay? But the thing that I had to realize is that you making the decision to show up for today is a win. You not popping off when you could is a win. You posting that piece of content, even though you don't even think it was perfect, is a win. A win is a win. And you celebrating yourself with these small wins is actually gaining evidence. Is gaining evidence for you, for your subconscious mind. So soul work for this week. I want you to ask yourself these questions. Where did I stay consistent despite how I felt? What stretch assignment did I complete with my old self would have avoided? What small win actually confirms that I am actually building endurance? And last but not least, where did I still shrink? And what belief fueled that? I want you to recognize that endurance is the bridge between seed and harvest. And this is where you really have to make the decision to stop dabbling, okay? And that you will embody, being the woman that God intended for you and for your life, okay? And so I want you to hold the line. Girl, I know it might seem pointless. It seems like it ain't working. Hold the line, okay? The shift, you will end up shifting from trying to being, okay? And when that happens, girl, it's proof. It's proof to yourself and to your soul that you are not the woman that you used to be. Here in week 4, we are embodying the harvest, okay? So harvest, I know oftentimes we think of, harvest as like, this big end result, but really harvest is actually just proof of process. It's more than just outcomes. It's really about identity. Ephesians 4 verse 24 says, put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness, okay? The word put on is literally like putting on clothing. It's not something that you just admire in your closet. It is truly something that you have to decide to wear every day until it becomes your new normal. The thing that I want you to recognize, even about embodiment, is that really it means that you stop waiting to feel like her, and really you have to make the decision that you are her. And because you are her, you adopt the habits, the decisions, and the language that is required for you to become her. It's really important that you continue on this path, because studies on neuroplasticity and visualization actually show that your subconscious mind actually cannot tell the difference between an imaginal act and you actually doing something in real life. And this is often why we hear about athletes actually visualizing their wins, or like visualizing them playing on the field. You can actually apply this for yourself, is that as you embody this new identity, as you continue to take the steps, okay, make the decisions that she makes, as you continue to think like her, to speak like her, to act like her, your brain rewires itself. And it makes your new identity the default. This is really how you will be able to lock in long term. And it is because you have really moved from a place of practice to really permanence. This week, I want you to embody the harvest. The first thing I want you to do is actually testify daily, okay? I want you to write down or do a voice recording in your phone. Record evidence of your transformation, okay? Like I said, I don't care how small it is, okay? Did you respond differently? Did you not eat that cookie when you really wanted to? Girl, write that down, okay? So the next thing I want you to do is really act as her, right? So I want you to continue to make decisions from the place of being the woman that God says that you are. Ask yourself, okay, does the new me do this? Like, no, that's beneath me. I don't do that, right? And then I want you to follow through. Number 3, I want you to share your wins. Girl, tell somebody. Come join us in Elevation House. Share with your fellow sisters what you've been up to. Girl, I lost a pound. Girl, I didn't pop off. Tell us, okay? And I want you to, again, testify, because the word of God tells us that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Your testimony, no matter how quote unquote small, no matter how small the win, it is encouraging those around you. For your final week, your soul work is to ask yourself, what evidence do I see that I am unrecognizable compared to 30 days ago? Now, this brings me to a really great caveat, which is that you really want to make sure that you're not in the gap and that you actually see the gain. Your focus from now moving forward should not be to measure yourself against what you wanted to achieve. No, it should actually be to measure yourself against who you used to be. Who was I? Okay, did I reach, a 15-pound loss? No, I didn't. But guess what I did do? I did lose 8 pounds, and I stopped binge eating, and I stopped eating late at night. You see the difference? And that feels so much better, right? And I want you to also ask yourself, okay, where has God shown up in this process? Because girl, I know he has, okay? And number 3, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what wins am I most proud of? Both internal and external. And last but not least, how will I continue embodying this new version of myself beyond the 30 days? Because remember, on average, depending upon what it is that we're doing, it takes more or less 67 days. Now, here is the thing. The time is going to pass regardless, but will it pass with you getting to day 67, getting to day 90, actually reaching before we even reach the new year and being like, you know what, I'm a whole new woman? Or will you get there and say, man, I wish I would have started. Like, why didn't I start? Or why didn't I just do what I was supposed to do? Okay, I don't want that for you. This is your 30-day lock-in game plan. Week 1, you're going to sow the seed. Week 2, you're going to confront the resistance. Week 3, you're going to build endurance. And week 4, you are going to embody the harvest. If you lock in for these next 30 days, girl, I know that you will come back to this video and you will testify just how good the Lord has been to you and through you within just these 30 days, okay? Because I know that there will be a shift within the realm of your soul, within the realm of your spirit and your body, okay? And so you won't just do things differently. You will truly become a completely different woman. And I want you to know again that this is not about you hustling harder. It's not about you doing more. It's truly about you being in alignment with God's intention for your life. If you are ready to lock in, I want you to drop "I'm locking in the comments, okay? And I don't want you to forget. Oh, don't forget, if you would like to take this work even deeper, I want you to grab my Build the Brand guide. If you are a woman who the Lord has been calling to actually create, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book, whether it's an online presence, grab my guide, Build the Brand, okay? Because it will take this work even deeper, and it will also give you some understanding of not only who you need to become, but also being able to understand your audience and actually to articulate that vision to those you were called to serve, okay? And so again, this is your moment, girl. This is your time to go all in. Don't abdicate your seat. Lock in and watch your faith meet harvest.